Final Destination opens with fans, with a fan. Well, a dangerous looking fan, but I know.
I'm fearful. That is one of those old school metal fans. They do remove fingers.
Yeah, but I relate right away. This guy's got a fan in his room. He's all right in my book. Okay. You're all right in my book. Deadly, deadly sharp, like all movie fans. And look, he has books on his shelf like Death of a Salesman.
The more we see of this kid's room, the more he seems like such a fucking bummer. I would not be this guy's friend.
I suppose, but he also seems like he's got like lots of toy planes. He's like little Nemo.
Okay. It's coded as like deep and just a full person, but it's like he's so jittery. I guess we don't ever get to spend any time with him as him just being him. I think we start on the day that fucks him up forever. So maybe he was real cool before, but he just seems really superstitious.
There's no time for any of that in these movies, as we just saw with the third movie where they keep saying of Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character, I'm a control freak. I'm just a control freak. So it's like, well, we don't have time to show that, but if we just have the character insist on their main attribute.
Yeah.
I like airplanes. I like airplanes. I like airplanes. I'm scared of airplanes. Devon Sawa is Alex Browning. The characters, most of them are named after horror directors. Alex Browning, named after Todd Browning, director of the original Dracula, the original Bela Lugosi Dracula, as is his best friend Todd. But Todd here is spelled with only one D, and that's because Todd, T-O-D, is the German word for death. Seann William Scott is Billy Hitchcock.
Oh.
Let's see. The French teacher is Mr. Murnau.
The thing they say over and over in the third one is McKinley a
president?
Well, I mean, I know that, but I thought, isn't there someone who assassinated someone with McKinley?
McKinley was assassinated.
Did he not also assassinate?
No. I mean, like all presidents, he did horrible things.
Well, no, but sorry. But who attempted for Jodie Foster?
Hinckley.
Oh, okay. Has all the letters. That's a dyslexic win.
Alex is packing for his big senior trip, which is just the French class or the French club. I don't know what this is. They're all going to Paris, though, for like 2 weeks. And his dad comes in and he's like, son, you have your whole life ahead of you. What do you think about that? Boy, life's a son of a gun, isn't it? Anyway, good luck with all that. See you when you get back. We're not even driving you to the airport.
Not even helping you pack. You're in a different country. He's so chill about it.
Pack my suitcase.
Laissez compétent.
He's got his mom is like, ooh, remove the luggage tag from last time you flew. And he's like, oh, mom, no.
That's when it starts. It falls slowly to the ground. His mom set all of this in motion.
That's true. It's always the mom. Yeah. Goddamn mom. Is this a real thing, or is this a real superstition?
Never. And that's why I'm like, this kid is exhausting. Yeah. I can't even think of a person in my life that was superstitious. But even when someone is just a little bit, it is annoying as fuck. Like I had one boyfriend who insisted that if you come in a door into someone's house, you have to exit through the same door if it's the final time you're leaving the house. And they would always make us do it.
Really?
Sometimes the side is easier.
Do you know who is superstitious, who I didn't learn until I went on a trip with her? My mom.
Oh, what did she do?
It was like, it would come out in weird ways where she'd be like, I have a bad feeling about this train, and then literally not let us take that train. We have to wait for another one.
So it just sounds like travel anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got Alex's best friend Todd with one D, played by Chad Donella. He seems to be the only person in this movie who's like, this movie takes place in New York, so I'm going to be New York.
I don't know what the fuck he is.
I'm Todd.
He seems to be trying to give like Matthew Lillard energy. He's kind of like menacing, but it just comes off as goofy.
Seann William Scott is Billy Hitchcock, and this is an interesting performance from him.
A misuse of him. Honestly,
misuse. So like, describe. I think
this so. I think it. I mean, he does a fine job. He's good, whiny and weaselly of all kinds. But it's just so. I've seen him as a dirtbag. I've seen him cool. Seeing him as a nerd or a dork, I just don't buy it. So, I mean, it's not like he's not giving it his all. Just an odd choice. I mean, he seems perfect for the best friend instead.
It's just interesting that American Pie is 1 year earlier. He's so huge as Stifler. But maybe he
might have asked, honestly.
Yeah, can I play the character maybe was written to be a menacing jock, and instead he's like, can I just be kind of a doofus or like
that's smart,
just
honestly.
kind of a nice guy who's just like, oh, shucks.
Right.
But that makes him kind of non-specific. His attribute is I like the New York Jets.
Exactly. And he's not memorable to me in this role where he has so many memorable roles.
Yeah. Kerr Smith or Carr Smith is Carter, and he's like the jock bully, and he has a girlfriend named Terry Amanda Detmer.
I do not understand him. Someone that good looking, clearly has money, has a hot girlfriend, and he's that fucking mean and down to fight. I don't understand what archetype he's supposed to be. He's just full of hate. It does, and he's listening to 9 Inch Nails. Who is this fucking guy?
Yeah, my favorite illustration of that is when the plane takes off and everybody cheers, and he's just like, whatever.
Yeah, like what your girlfriend is. I mean, I get why a lovely girl would end up with a shit guy. I get that, but yeah, they're clearly trying to make him a thing, and they get it more right in the third, where the emo kind of factual, nerdy but kind of cool goth kid turns out to be menacing. That makes that trajectory. God, my words. Trajectory makes sense. This one is this kid has everything. Why is he so pissed?
And there's always like in these teen movies, there's like a couple. And they don't seem to have any other friends. But here it's weird because you seem like popular kids, but you don't have any other friends. You're just with each other. In the third movie, they have the couple who are the sort of goth couple who also work at Home Depot.
Oh, I don't read them as a couple, but okay.
Oh, they're a couple. Are they?
They're never romantic together.
They aren't?
They're just best friends.
I guess I just ship them. I guess I just imagine them fucking each other with nails. Oh. Anyway, I was going to say they're a nice couple. I think they're couples goals. Honestly, if I'm being honest. Allie Larter is Clear Rivers. I just hate this name. Clear.
Clear.
Hey, Clear. Kind of above it all. Has her head in a book. But she knows French better than anybody.
Because of the book.
She's reading Henry Miller's 1934 novel Tropic of Cancer, a book that was banned in the United States through the 1960s because it was considered too obscene and pornographic. Ooh. And I pledge to you all now here, I speak it into existence. I'm going to read this book. I need to read more books. I don't read enough fiction.
Yeah, you're getting dumb.
I feel like it. I feel like I don't. Yeah, I need to expand my horizons, especially old. I only read Stephen King for fiction pretty much. So let's see. And then I guess they have a teacher, Miss Luton, who's played by Kristen Cloak. And
another confounding choice. I don't know if she's being directed to act this way, but she's so unnecessarily hostile to just some sort of like clergy person passing out pamphlets at the airport.
Yeah, the Hare Krishna who hands Devon Sawa a pamphlet and is like, death is not the end. And the teacher's like, it will be if you harass my students. But then
turns around and mimes the word fuck off.
Well, he goes, Hare Rama. And she goes, fuck off. But she has this look on her face like
I'm going to eat your fucking dick off. And she's wearing a shirt, which is very of the time, that shows just a little bit of skin. So it's like, you're a teacher, though. Maybe that's not your shirt. And while you're going, fuck off. And then from the rest of the movie, she's got intense survivor's guilt. And she's just mean as hell. That teacher's mean. The wrong teacher died.
Then Alex goes to check his luggage, and the clerk is like, your departure is the same as your birthday, 9/25. And he's like, oh no, that can't be good. And he looks off at the big board with all the flights, and they're all flickering. And he's like, the big board is flickering. That can't be good.
Everything is, oh no. Oh no.
And his friend Todd comes up to him. Well, no, first Clear. She doesn't have any friends. She's got her head in her
name's
book.
not Claire.
No, it's Clear.
I mean, I kept seeing it on the fucking like closed captions, but I thought that was making an accident the whole time.
You're like, I know it says that, but her name's Claire.
They all say Claire. Or I guess I just thought they were Midwestern.
Yeah, you're just replacing it in your head. Claire. Claire. She is reading a book and then has like another book. She's such a bookworm. Alex accidentally knocks it over and then picks it up for her, hands it back to her. Neither of them look at each other, but then she looks down at the book, at the page it fell down to, and it's a photo of Princess Di's car accident scene.
What is this book, Claire?
And then she looks up at Alex very significantly.
I wonder if he killed Princess Di.
That's
what she meant.
So Todd then comes over to Alex and he's like, dude, we gotta go take a shit.
The greasy ass marks that come out of my anus are going to be gelled into the hotties' heads if we don't shit together right now.
And Alex is like, yeah, makes sense. Okay.
Yeah,
and so they just cut to them taking shits next to each other.
Just sweet.
Something me and my bros always do.
I've never taken a tandem shit.
No, me neither. No, of course not. No, that's for me and the Lord. That's for me to go find the most distant airport bathroom. Tell everybody, hey, I'm going to my car. See ya.
Okay. Shit in your car.
In the bathroom, he hears a John Denver song, and he's like, John Denver.
He died on plane.
Died in a plane
no.
crash. That can't be good.
Oh, no.
This would have only been a few years earlier, which I didn't realize. I was like, why does this teenager know John Denver?
Yes, I had the same reaction. I guess John Denver is allowed to die old and not young in a crash.
Yeah, I mean, he was like 57.
That just seems a little bit up there in terms of like tragic airplane deaths. And I'm only thinking of La Bamba and Aaliyah.
When it's talking plane crashes, those are the big two.
Well, and
music.
that basketball player.
I'm just talking music.
I am too.
You're talking about Kobe Bryant. That was a helicopter.
No, that's still air travel.
You weren't talking about him?
Yeah, I was. But before that, I named two people who were young and in the music industry, and you kept saying no.
No, I didn't. I forgot Aaliyah died in a plane crash. That was such big news at the time. Any
airplane death is big news. I mean, it's just because it's everyone's worst fear.
Big news, but also, I don't know. It was like, boy, she was going to be a huge, huge star. Yeah. And now she's dead. So they board the plane. And I like the movie making Devon Sawa look out at the plane from the jetway, and it's lightning and it's raining and the score's going nuts.
He just feels like he's the only one seeing everything. And he is. But you don't know if he's seeing future things, or like, is he seeing what will fuck up, or is he seeing things that no one else is catching? Who knows?
That's what it's both, or, well, it's like, it's suddenly my consciousness is raised. The entire world is scary, and it's all trying to kill me.
Babies crying are scary. Movies? No. There should be certain rules. One of them, you are not allowed to use like realistic baby crying. And just don't do it. Our son is very fascinated with airplane travel because I made him a video of me saying goodbye from an airport, and it comforts him. He likes to watch it. And so when he sees we're watching this movie, he's like, all right, finally I get to see what happens inside the plane. And we're like, no.
Let's back up a little. So our 8-year-old son, who has autism, never watches movies with us. But lately he's been coming in and he's like sitting on my lap, and I'm like, oh, hello. Yes.
Really nice.
Yes. Let's all watch The Simpsons or something together, because he also loves The Simpsons. But we're watching Final Destination. We're preparing for this podcast for all of you. And he sits down and he's like, what's this? A plane, an airplane.
Let's
okay.
Go.
Keep going, please.
And so we stopped it before the crashing part happened. But when the baby cries, he goes, no, wah. No, like it's fundamentally it fucks people's head. Let me just say this though, that what we did not expect is for the very next day for him to request the airplane movie again. And I'm thinking, okay, this is probably part of like a loop. This is going to be now a part of his evening routine, but he just wants to watch the airport stuff. And I'm like, let's just see how he handles the wreck part, or I was like, because if we're gonna do this every single day, it's going to be a lot of anxiety to skip that part every time, and plus he knows how to use the fucking remote anyway, and so it's like it didn't even register. He didn't see it as an airplane anymore, because it does look insanely different.
It was the first time I ever had to be like, oh, should we screen some content for him? Because we never have. He's just
because he doesn't watch anything with us. I mean, yeah.
And he's never wanted to watch anything where I think, oh, should an 8-year-old be watching this?
Right.
But the plane crash was coming up. And so we were like, hey, this is going to be just pretend, okay? It's not real.
I did keep telling him that.
And then we stopped it because I was just worried. You never know what's going to
stick. And then the second time he watches it, no, baby, wah. And I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, gets it. Anyway, baby, wah. And so, like, he's not the only one that's freaking out this day. Airplane travel's scary, and they're going, like, for a long time in an airplane. There's a bunch of kids who are, like, not with their parents. It's exciting, but this is, like, the shitty part you have to get through to go have fun.
And I think something about a nighttime flight in the rain.
But also, I remember when I was going to Disney World, I was 12. I felt like I was the last kid to ever get to go. I was so excited. I remember being scared every single night leading up to it that I would die before I ever got to see Disney World. I would pray Just let me get there for one day and then I can die. That's what I would tell God. Like, just one day. And there's this like bargaining thing I would do with all kinds of milestones. Like, I remember one of it was like my first wedding or my graduation. It's like, I will die right after. Anyway, you're getting on a plane and you're like, I'm about to have so much fun. I've been thinking about this for months. I hope I don't die right now.
You are a bad flyer, and I feel like you're getting worse.
I am getting worse.
I love to fly.
I fucking hate it.
What about it?
I think it's going to crash. I mean, I don't like what it does to my stomach. I don't like when turbulence starts. I don't want to upset other people. If I'm sitting next to a kid, I don't want to upset them. So I just bury my face in my jacket or my whatever I have, and I curl up and I I just don't want to make it worse for anybody, but I don't know how not to do that. Anyway, so all these teens are getting on this plane and they're looking around the plane to see how safe are they, because God wouldn't let a baby die. God lets baby dies all the time. And then
babies.
Kills them dead. And then there's a person with cerebral palsy and they're like, oh, it'd be a really fucked up guy to kill him. Like, trust me, he's not above this.
Oh yeah, he loves it.
But he fucking loves it. Anyway, so just more nervous teens going about their day on a plane. You're welcome.
The two hot babes ask Todd if they can switch seats with him, and even though he wants to fuck them in the bathroom, he's like, "No, I have because I have a bladder infection, a yeasty dick." And they're like, "Yeah, okay, gross." And he's like, "Nailed it." And they go over and ask Devon Sawa, "Will you switch with me?" And then the plane takes off. Everyone cheers, and the French teacher's like, "Attention, la voyage commence." And everyone, their big frog necks bulge because they're being French. And again, as everyone is cheering and happy, Kerr Smith is like, "Stupid. I hate this."
My girlfriend's so hot. Fuck.
And then there's a rumble. The bags fall, the luggage falls, the masks drop. I watched this several times to try to hear, is that French teacher still insisting on yelling in French?
Oh,
it'd be funny if he was. The airlock or whatever blows off. People start getting sucked out. It rules. It's a great sequence. And then the plane explodes and we see Alex turn into cinders. And then we pull out and it's Alex's pupil and he starts freaking out. This is really a movie I wish I could go back in time and watch for the first time in a theater. And I've only seen Final Destination 2 in a theater. I've heard these are great theater movies, like in a packed theater opening night. People are going nuts and laughing and screaming and stuff.
And so we shall rectify this by going on Friday.
Right. But if I didn't know anything about this movie and literally just saw the main character burn up into cinders in that split second before it pulls out to reveal, like, what the fuck is this movie? You know?
Yeah, I get it.
So he's like, the plane is going to explode. And I like how instantly they're like, get the fuck off the plane. And then the bully gets up. He's like, I'm gonna fucking kick your ass, Browning. And then in the rumble, a couple of other people get pulled in. Seann William Scott gets pulled in. And then Todd, the best friend, is like, I need to go check on Alex. And then some force makes her think I need to get off the plane too.
And one of the teachers has to get off. So the female, go fuck yourself teacher, tells the French teacher, no, you stay, you know French, which makes sense. Mm-hmm. So nice little group of 7.
And I am feeling a little bit of moral outrage. Like, well, come on, Seann William Scott didn't do anything. Come on, just let him on. But they watch the plane take off. And Carter is like, we're going to lose half a day in Paris. He still thinks he's going.
They're all saying they're going to catch the next flight. Yeah, there's a flight 6 hours after.
No, because they also say their parents are on their way.
That's later.
No, it's right here.
No,
they say it again later, but they say your parents are on the way.
Oh, well, maybe because they can't sleep at the airport. So maybe it's like, 12 hours away. They can't go put them all in a hotel or something.
I read it as Alex is not going to be allowed to go.
Okay, that's just one person. The other ones are, okay, whatever. No, they would be way more upset if they weren't going to get to go at all.
Mm-hmm. So then he and Carter's the bully, get into a fight again, and Seann William Scott is just watching the plane take off, and it's really great that it's just in the corner of the screen. The plane explodes, and then the glass explodes. It's really well done, and honestly, it's probably the scariest moment in the movie just because of the
glass
psychological implications. Oh shit, I am magic? Okay.
No, I am burdened and unbelieved. Who would want this superpower where no one fucking believes you and you can predict the worst thing? Death. Like, nobody wants you around. You're a bummer and a half.
You ever had to go into like an airport detainment holding area?
No. Why would I do that?
I don't know. Things happen. I once
what did you do?
I had a driver's license where when you got it renewed, you just put a little sticker on it, but that sticker had peeled off. So they're like, get over here, terrorist. Prove who you are. And I'm like, I'm me, I swear.
Well, what do you mean detainment area then? Like a room?
A room, yeah.
Oh, no. I've been pulled over to this. I remember when I got my purse stolen in San Antonio. So you had to send me my high school ID.
And it worked.
And it worked because I had to agree to a full body search by a female, whatever. It was nothing. I didn't like have to squat and cough or anything. Like, it wasn't. Everybody leave your ID at home. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Just do it.
Everybody's panicking about real ID. Real ID is don't bring an ID at all.
Real scam.
Okay. It really is a real scam. I mean, come on. What are we doing?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
They're looking at Alex like he's a freak. They're like, hey, you're a freak. And Clear's like, he's not a witch. But two
no
FBI.
one thought he was a witch. Claire.
FBI agents come in. They are very lucky this is pre 9/11. If this was just 1 year later, all of them would be off on a plane to Poland to a black site they'd never be heard from again. We don't know what happened to those kids. Just rectal rehydration for the rest of their lives for enhanced interrogation. What do you know about that plane? Okay, these FBI agents. We got Daniel Roebuck. We got Roger Smith. This is clearly Mulder and Scully, but they have
with no fucking charisma.
Well, I mean, yeah, but also their function in this movie, in terms of like just pure like screenplay, they don't advance anything. They're just kind of like, okay, let's go over this one more time. You thought the plane was going to crash, and they just keep on doing it. And it's just funny because like they just couldn't take the X-Files out of this movie. They're like, I don't know how to tell a story if it doesn't involve FBI agents.
Well, and they don't get rid of, law enforcement altogether in the following ones, at least in the third, there's still suspicion of cops. They're still going to jail or to be interrogated for different things because they keep popping up around the murders. So, I mean, there will be law enforcement, but I'm not sure why it would instantly be FBI. Like, they were just not busy. How'd they get there so fast?
Right. And they hang around a very long time because after this, it's 39 days later when they have the memorial. And the time, the time in these movies is always a little different. Like sometimes it's just the next day, the killings start.
Yeah.
But yeah, at least like this is treated with some gravity because he's going to be a suspect for the rest of the movie. In part 3, which we just watched, the main characters are interrogated by police for 10 hours and then they leave the police station and the dad is just like waiting out in the truck. It's like, oh,
hey, sport.
After all of this, Alex goes home and he just spends a lot of time watching the news. Nice little anticipation of what all of America would be doing for the next 25 years.
And I guess it just seems like a weird detail to gloss over, but I guess we just weren't being careful back then. I mean, just all these underage kids being interrogated or talking to any kind of authority without an adult, let alone an attorney. It just seems like a huge, but I guess it just would slow the movie down. They just need to be like, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. I didn't do it. All right, now go.
But that's what the fucking feds do. We're always saying this. If you're listening, if you're ever talking to any law enforcement agent, including the federal government, especially the federal government, lawyer. Even if you're being interrogated as a witness.
Interesting.
Well, because their whole business model is we wait and we talk to you forever and see if one little thing you said doesn't match up. And then we're like, oh, lying to the FBI.
Or if we
really
can turn
serious.
you against someone else who we can't get to flip. Yeah, you're right.
It's 39 days later. There's a memorial service for the fallen.
I say this is an inappropriate memorial statue. Should it be something in flight? I don't think it should be.
On the We Hate Movies podcast, they have a great episode about this movie, and they suggest the school had already ordered this statue. It's like their mascot, and they had to repurpose it.
What's a Bruin?
You're all flying through the sky with the angels.
Did they say that because they agree that it's a bad memorial image for people who died in the sky? A fucking bird of prey?
I think it was more, how did they get this immaculate marble statue in a month?
It's all right.
I don't, let's say yes, they agree with you.
Okay.
Each of the main characters goes up to lay a rose down, and then they all take a moment to go tell Devon Sawa what they think of him. Carter goes up to...
There's a little booth for Devon.
yes. He goes up to the booth. He's like, one, please. Devon Sawa, I don't fucking owe you anything.
Let's go. You don't want to fight me?
I hope you don't think I owe you anything, Browning. All I owe to those people who died is to live my life to the fullest. I'm never going to die.
All these movies are just people dealing with the very, very real thing of survivor's guilt. It ruins people's lives. You're never the same. So imagine surviving. It's just better to die. Just go ahead and die.
The sexy teacher comes up to the booth and she's like, I just want to tell you, you creep me out. Stay the fuck away from me.
Yeah, this kid didn't have his own troubles to go through and wasn't dealing with enough as it is. He wasn't even trying to come at you, bruh. Mm-hmm. Why?
Yeah, you came up to the booth.
Why are you adding this? Don't come to the booth.
Todd goes to the booth and Devon Sawa was like, look, man, no homo or anything. Don't take this the wrong way. It's the year 2000. Yeah. But I miss you. And he's like, yeah, I know what you mean. I miss you too, but it's my father. He just doesn't get it. But hey, when all this is over, when he's over it, we'll go to the city, you and me. Catch the Yanks. Get some hot dogs. Okay. Catch Mickey Mantle swinging the stick.
Swinging it.
And then finally Clear comes up to him and she's like, because of you, I'm still alive. Thank you. And she hands him a rose. Now he just has to hold this rose. What are we going to do with this fucking rose?
And what? He's the only asshole walking away from the memorial with a rose? Kind of fucked up. Yeah. Thank you, Clear. Now I'm going to look like an idiot.
I took the rose from the memorial. I'm going to
look like a total fucking psychopath. Thank you.
Do you remember this? Maybe I'll delete this. Hillary Clinton famously did not go out election night and talk to her employees and supporters and staff. When she lost, she sent out John Podesta to go.
Yeah, I remember.
All right. So everybody's like, why did Hillary Clinton not even address? It shows how little she thinks of us. And then in her book, What Happened, she explains, I had to take time to process the loss. And then it's like a women's group had sent her like a condolence gift of 1,000 long-stemmed roses. And so then she had a big like town hall with all her supporters to be like, I love you. And here's how I can prove it. I have all these roses. Take one as a token of my esteem.
They're not even from you.
She re-gifted roses.
Re-gifted.
And like, what the fuck am I going to do with a rose?
But what the fuck is she going to do with 1,000? That's kind of a dick gift. It's like, here's 15,000 pizzas. I like pizza, but this is now a garbage mound. Thank you so much.
Don't give anybody a rose.
So now Devon's this is all just showing you the different ways people control or try to get back control after a loss that makes no sense. And what Devon's going to do is do some research, try to figure out where all these premonitions are coming from to make sure he's not crazy. Then he gets like his second little tickle. I guess that's interesting that it took a month and a half for him to feel something again, but it's a very distinct feeling when a fan chops up your fucking newspaper and blows the word Todd back at you. So then that's when he's like, oh, Todd.
No, you forgot something very crucial. As he's doing all of this research, he's like, enough time has passed that I think I'm getting a little horny. So he pulls out his Penthouse magazine and he starts looking through it. And we've all been here, men. You start and then you're like, forget it.
It's just not the right material.
I just don't have the love for the game anymore. I don't know what to tell you. So he puts the No. Before he can put the magazine away,
he doesn't lose attention for jerking off. He wants to jerk off to the picture of Clear. It's why he took it out to begin with, and it was like, well, I might as well just look at the picture of Clear.
Sees the picture of Clear, and then an owl shows up in his window, and this owl for some reason upsets him, and he's like, "Get out of here, owl!" And he throws the penthouse at the window.
That's not majestic. Get the fuck like that owl's always coming up.
Yeah, like I've seen 2 owls in my life.
To see one that close up, I think I was going to be taken to Hogwarts. It's like fucking crazy. They're not attracted to light. What the fuck's it doing coming to your light?
I can tell you.
It was a gift.
Again,
Devin.
I've seen owls twice in my life. I can tell you exactly where and when. They are like 2 of the 10 most important things that ever happened to me. Holy shit, an owl! Like in the wild. It's just
flew into your arms.
It feels like a mistake. It feels like what does this mean?
They're way too big too.
And he's just like, oh, fuck that, an owl.
Fuck
Gross.
off, owl.
But he throws the penthouse at the owl and it hits his fan and shreds his penthouse and the word Todd.
It's not. It's a newspaper. It's not the penthouse.
I think it's. Oh, you're right.
Tits did not blow back on him.
Yeah, because it's.
I think there's a hot pinup named Todd. No,
memorial
it's today.
service today.
Today, yeah.
Today. And then we get the first Rube Goldberg kill of the movie. As Todd goes to the bathroom, and some mysterious evil water comes out of the toilet tank and then starts to like stalk him.
Yeah.
And he, like a crazy person, is going to dry shave.
What in the fuck?
Even though he's totally clean shaven.
Yeah, right. He doesn't even need it. He cuts himself just trying with like the most old fashioned fucking razor. He's just fucking around in the bathroom.
That's what I think it is. He's just a dumb teenager. And he's like, I got to do like stuff in the bathroom, but I don't really know.
Depressed teenager. He just seems like he's just pooping around, a little listless.
And then he, trips on some water, ends up in the shower, and this like extremely taut laundry cord wraps around his neck very quickly. And he hangs to death in the tub.
Yeah, but it's very effective because you see shampoo has fallen at the bottom of the tub. So his efforts to like get a grip with his feet aren't working. He's sliding. He can't reach scissors. He pulls it even tighter by trying to reach the scissors. And then it always gets me whenever they do like the red bloodshot eye thing in any kind of choking situation. Mm-hmm. Then he's dead.
And then Alex runs over to his house because he saw the word Todd. The cops are there and he's like, what happened over here? But Clear is also there and she's like, Alex, go away.
Go on, get.
And he's like, he doesn't listen. He goes up to the cops and the cops are like, what are you doing here, freak? Did you kill him? And then the dad comes out and he's like, you did this to him. You made him kill himself.
He was so guilty from the loss of his brother. It's like, what?
I always remember a part of a movie where one of the parents like takes their own life and it's like, oh, they were another victim of death. But I've watched all 5 of these movies. It doesn't happen. Alex goes over to Clear's house where she has like an art workshop and she has like this abstract
I assume
piece.
She lives here alone. We never ever see parents. She never mentions any parents except for the ones that are dead.
No, her dad died. Her mom married a new man and like left her this house.
Know. Well, but she doesn't say that part. It's just like, this is just where I've lived alone since I was 12 and I've turned it all into an art studio.
Not only does she have the art studio house, also a cabin in the woods. She's got a lot going on.
She's got a lot of property for an orphan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For a high school student played by a 25-year-old. Again, I am in favor of 25-year-olds playing high school students. It's the only way I can relate to them.
And yet you seem peeved.
I'm not peeved. I'm happy.
Mm.
She's like, see this abstract piece of art? It makes me think of you because I don't understand it.
It's how you make me feel.
Which is what?
Which is that you don't really understand what's going on with you. It's like taking form. You're not really sure what to do with it or what it means about you. And that you've got a spring in your dick.
And I like that she says, 4 years of high school, we'd never even spoken to each other. But all of a sudden on that plane, I felt connected to you. I like this. So if she could feel what he was seeing, even if she couldn't see it herself. And that compelled her to follow him off of the plane.
And then it happened again with Todd because she ended up at the same house he did because he kept thinking over and over, Todd.
And so he's like, well, what if Todd was just the first? What if these killings aren't going to stop? And then I think in a pretty like, okay, we just got to get to the next scene. He's like, I just wish I could talk to Todd one more time to ask him, are you dead? Or whatever he's going to ask. And she's like, so let's go see him.
Let's do the thing where I break into a mortuary like I always do. Ceilings open.
They go through the ceiling to break into this.
Into a triple stack coffin display because I'm always wondering, okay, so grandpa goes here, but what if I had 3 grandpas all stacked in top?
They want to be near each other.
Well, what if they all die at the same time? I want to be able to stack them.
This funeral home / morgue / coroner's office, he seems to play all of the roles.
He's just a mortician.
Well, in a later movie, he's identified as the coroner.
Oh, okay. He's elected official.
Yeah. What is this? What is
he
his platform?
He won't leave the area, so just hire him.
They go to look at Todd's body, and its arm springs up. This is another. Every single episode of the X-Files has a scene in a morgue, and then Scully does an autopsy because that's what she does.
Wait, she's allowed to touch it? She's a toucher? She's a bodied?
Well, she's also a medical doctor.
But does she have a license to do this with dead people, or is she just like step aside?
No. It's always there's always an assistant or a tech who's like,
oh, okay.
She's always like, well, we got to take a look and then
show
cut
me
to
the
them.
Thorax Maximus. Yes, just like in medical school. You concur?
Yeah, Dana Scully went to 4 years of medical school or whatever, and then 3 years of the FBI Academy, and arrives fully formed at age like 26.
Just like Superman.
Kind of, yeah.
He goes to his Temptress of Solemn.
That's it.
Solid of Tintristude.
All right, but Tony Todd,
Help me!
Fortress of Solitude.
Thank you.
Tony Todd comes in as Mr. Bloodworth.
Oh.
And he's like, quiet, you'll wake the dead.
Ha ha ha. What did you say? This is your best friend. He's sure is dead. Want to see his innards?
I knew I'd be seeing you soon, Alex Browning. And Alex is just like, it's kind of weird. Whatever. Explains
Black people.
The corpse there spasmed because of chemicals. Yeah, chemicals. That's why.
Yeah.
And so he explains, in death, there are no accidents. We're all a mouse that the cat has by the tail. Everything we do is part of death's design, leading us to the grave. So you mean we can cheat death?
I don't know how you got that out of what I just said. Clear.
Alex, by getting off the plane, you already have. Now death is coming for you, but remember, the risk of disrespecting the Grim Reaper. You don't even want to fuck with that Mac Daddy.
So you know that this is Alex. You know that he has had this hugely traumatic, the kind of experience that would change a town for the rest of its existence. But I broke in to see my best friend who has now had a follow-up death, and you want to show me stuff squirting out of his neck. You're a fucking Satanist, sir.
And then he starts, and they're like, okay, then we got what we need.
All right.
Bye.
No harm, no foul. Feel free to get on my triple-decker coffin.
Sorry for Ethan Hunt, infiltrating your unit
you really
through the ceiling.
Shouldn't leave that stained glass window propped open with a sign that says, you could stand on a coffin if you went down here.
And
entry. If
you died, you could be in here by now. And he just starts laughing evilly, and he's like, I'll see you soon. It's weird that these scenes with him are always the best part of the movie. They have no impact on the movie whatsoever. They're barely ever referenced again, but they're always like, I know who we need to see. Then they go see him, and then it's the next scene.
Okay, but in the third movie, that's not how it works. He's just like a voice on the train.
Yeah,
so.
That's the one that he's not. I mean, he's in that just as a voice and as a...
Do you think they'll use AI to bring him into Bloodlines?
No, he filmed before he died.
Oh, wow. So death finally came for him.
That's right. And I'll tell you who didn't come for him, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. They
left him out of the fucking... Yeah. Not okay.
And that's the thing. If you want to be remembered, be in a horror movie. People will be watching these horror movies for the rest of time. They will watch old horror movies. They'll watch new horror movies. And Devon Sawa and Ali Larter will be able to live for the rest of their lives going to cons.
Yes, there's a con
worshipped
for you.
by these people. Because I was mediocre in a Final Destination movie one time.
He continued to act, though. He's still in stuff.
No, I know.
What did I just see him in?
And so is she. But Heart Eyes?
Yep. Which is
with Jordana Brewster. He was like her police partner.
Yep. He's finally flipped the script.
No, but and Ali Larter still acts too. She's on that show Landman. But yeah, I'm saying even if neither of them ever steadily worked again, they could still make $60,000 a year going to cons.
And I'd say in as far as slasher teen scary movies go, both of them are fine actors. They're not. It's not embarrassing, these performances. None of them have embarrassing performances in the two movies I've seen so far.
Yeah.
There's no bad actors. And I feel like sometimes they don't put a lot of thought into those parts to make them cheesy.
I think Kerr Smith isn't that good in this movie.
Who's Kerr Smith?
The bully.
Well,
But I think
he's just one note.
function of the script and the direction. The Alex and Clear go get coffee, and he explains like, listen, I'm obsessing over all these things about death.
Here's where I get pissed, because up until now, Clear's been completely with him, and it's been the one kind of driving it even, or like encouraging this thought of like, what is this bigger picture? If we're going to say that death exists, then we're already admitting to supernatural things. We're admitting to the ability to predict things, to feel things before they happen. And then he says, I don't know what he says, but something about cheating death or whatever. She's like, okay, that's too far. Oh, that's fucking, oh, come on. Are you telling? It's like, whoa, bitch, are you down or not? Not
And
cool,
how does
Clear.
she put it? She puts it like, Alex, after hearing you out, I believe you when you say that you're totally full of shit, or one of those.
Yes, right. It's like some kind of turn to phrase of like, wait, just now I lost you? I'm cooking.
Or no. Alex, after hearing you out, you've convinced me. And he's like, oh, that Todd died of a freak accident and there's no death plan or anything.
Fucking asshole.
But she only has to wait like another minute and she'll change her mind, because all the other characters now descend upon this coffee shop, including Seann William Scott, who gets hit by Kerr Smith's car because he's driving down the road listening to 9 Inch Nails.
He's like, you dick.
And he sees Alex on the side of the road. He's like, I'm going to fucking murder him. And pulls over. And all the characters are now here. And he's like, listen, Browning, I need to murder you. And he's like, but wait, hold on first. Listen, we cheated death and it's coming for all of us. There are very clear rules. Here's what happens.
This is exactly what I'm saying. Browning, this is why I'm going to murder you. I can't be running into you at a fucking Kroger in 10 years and then you start with this shit again. I need to kill you now.
Terry, the girlfriend, hot girlfriend, she's like, I'm here too and I have something to say. You're full of shit. This plane crash, yeah, it sucked, but it's over. It's in the past. I won't be defeated by this. This plane crash will not be the most important thing that ever happened in my life. And if you don't like that, you can just drop dead. And then she gets smushed by a bus.
Well said. I'm so glad you got your line right before your death. Okay, here's asshole teacher. Now it's time for her to die. I welcome this kill. Fucking hate her. She's a period fart, as our kid would say. All right.
Ew.
Yeah, exactly. She's ill.
Not the periods. I love periods. I hate farts.
Period
I'm complicated like that.
All right. Well, now we've got, what is his name? It's not Devon. I keep calling him Devon. Alex is he's figured out that it's going to be Miss Pissy teacher next.
Because he sees on the news, they're like, new updates in the plane crash. We have determined that this is the exact order that the people on the plane died.
Here's a diagram of how the short shorted. And
TiVo doesn't exist, but we will keep this image on screen for a long time.
Right, and we will he screenshot it, Matt. It's fine. And so we know that the circuit went here, like, just say that circuits did something. We don't need a fucking diagram, but whatever. So now he knows the kill order. And so he rushes over to Meanie Pants' house, but he's just like checking out things. Like, it's really kind of silly. Like, let me just make sure there's not a bomb in her car.
She is very affected by, the whole plane crash death thing and sending the other teacher to his death. So she's decided, I got to get out of this town.
Got to move.
Too many bad memories.
I've lived here my whole life in this house, but I need to get out of here.
And so she's like wrapping her coffee cups in bubble wrap as you do, and then she looks out and sees Alex being a psychopath standing there like a
kid that terrifies her while she's on the phone with a loved one, and is like, I'm going to call you later. Like, no, tell them what's going on so they can call the cops for you.
Well, she immediately calls the FBI.
Yeah, fine, but they don't come as fast as 911. I just think this bitch's priorities are wrong.
So the FBI comes and they're like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm just checking her tire pressure.
Her tires, she's kicking them around.
So they take him down. They take him in.
Or like, they're going to cause her death. He was there to save her.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
See, and they just don't know. They just don't believe that. That's sort of it's the dramatic irony of watching this movie. Is we know something that they don't.
Thank you. Yeah, when you think about it and break it down. You know what? It's just a theory.
I could be wrong.
It's a real good movie theory.
She drips some like tea onto her computer, which causes it to explode and shoot a shard of computer glass into her neck.
into her jugular.
Okay, her jugular.
Well, it's in an act. You were right. I'm just adding to it.
Thanks. And then she stumbles back and she's like, oh God, my neck, I'm bleeding. And then falls down and knocks a...
Wait, but you spotted a good thing. You saw the sword of Damocles
yes.
in her stained glass window as she falls, and and that the mythology there is that the sword is hanging by a thread, and at any time it's cut, and that ends you.
And isn't that just life? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the point.
That's the point.
We're coming to some profound conclusions. All right, but this bitch isn't done. She's going to bleed a lot, walk around a lot, and she's decided what? Okay, I've fallen down in the kitchen. I know, I'll wrap my neck and this piece of glass in a dishcloth. So she's reaching for it. But what does she do? She accidentally brings the whole knife block with her and just knife straight to her heart or to something.
Yeah, to her heart.
To something. But it didn't kill her instantly because he comes in, fucking idiot. He breaks into the house and he's
had enough time to be interrogated by the FBI without a lawyer.
It's taken a long time.
Been released and now he's back at her house.
Right.
He's like, oh no, my teacher. No, are you okay? Oh, you're definitely not okay. Let me help. And then a chair falls on and just pushes the knife more in. And he's like, oh shit. And he takes the knife and pulls it out. And then realizes, oh God, I'm holding a knife.
Murder weapon.
Oh God, my feet prints are everywhere.
And guys, if you think a fire will help cover your tracks if you do decide to kill your teachers, strike that. If you do decide to kill a person, fire actually solidifies your bloody shoe prints into a fine gel. So don't use fire. Okay? Doesn't cover your tracks. It immortalizes them.
It caramelizes them.
It caramelizes them.
So he has to go on the lam. And Clear is like, okay, other survivors, Billy, Carter, meet me at the memorial thing. And we'll go and we'll take the next steps. And so they all meet. And Carter's like, I'm kind of upset about all this, but I guess I'll go with you. And they all go in her car and they need to go find Alex. He's hiding at Jones Beach. And Clear gets out by herself and goes and has a heart-to-heart with him. And she's like, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with my parents dying. And he's like, I think all kids are. And she's like, yeah, but not every kid has a parent actually die. It happened to me. My dad shot in the head, murdered.
God, man. Some people do lose their parents when they're young.
And now my mom went to go fuck a guy and left a house and a cabin to me. And he's like, oh, wow. Okay. And then all of this is so that she can be like, so if death has a design, then I say fuck death. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah, let's go fuck death. I hope he's hot.
You're right. Okay, I will go with you.
I get it now.
They get into the car. We got our 4 best friends in the car. And they're driving, and now Alex has convinced them. I know the order that we're going to die. And they're like, well, you got to tell me. And he's like, you think it's going to be easier if you know what order you're going to die in? It's going to make it harder. And
harder, Carter.
And Seann William Scott's like, is it going to be me? Please tell me I'm going to see the Jets win a Super Bowl. It's a bad line delivery. Also, nope, still hasn't happened.
Yeah,
the Jets been the worst team in the league.
No matter how long you would have held on, guy.
So Carter now decides, have you seen that movie, The Craft? I'm going to do what the lady in that movie does.
Oh, you scared? You scared, Sarah?
It's scared.
Oh, boo. Wow.
Lays it on the gas and lets go of the wheel and is like, let fate, what may come, will take us. And they're all like, no, Carter, please don't do this, please.
I will make a correction that is Carter's Mustang. It is not Clear's that Matt implied earlier.
They did?
Yep.
So sorry.
Our muscleheads will be muscleheads. Our gearheads, our muscle car gearheads will be upset.
As they're going, Carter's going all Fairuza Balk, Alex looks down at his seatbelt and sees that it's ripped. And he's like, huh?
What?
And then looks down again.
I need it for safety.
This is intact. Very strange. And then he looks out the window and a train is coming. He's like, huh? A train shouldn't be there. No, there's no train there. Oh, okay. The premonitions are coming. Yes.
They're coming and I'm about to come.
And Carter's like, I'm going to stop on this train track. And they all jump out and he's like, I'm not getting out. And they're like, you got to get out. And he's like, oh, okay. But he can't get out.
He can't.
Because he's like,
I won't do it.
I guess it's not my time. All right. Gonna get out. Hey, wait a second.
I can't get out. Death wants me in.
Yeah.
Death make me go in here?
Because my seatbelt won't come undone. But
of the strength of Damocles, but the strength of Devon Sawa, he just goes in there, and if you pull hard enough, you'd break a fucking seatbelt. An impact of a big metal car hitting that metal car should also not break that seatbelt. What's the faulty seatbelt, Mustang?
It's because he knew that he could do it. That's how he did it, you know?
I guess.
I already saw that I could do it, so I knew I could.
Friends, help me here in the comments. Please comment below. In my mind, he does get him out the car, but then the train hits half his body, and what actually lands on Alex, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I got you, buddy," and then he realizes it's just half of him. Where am I getting that from?
Oh, that sounds cool.
That
as
is
hell.
from a thing. I cannot. It didn't happen here, guys. Anyway,
Yeah, they're all okay, and the train leaves. The train goes by, and now Seann William Scott is upset. He's like, "This is fucked up and stupid. I hate you guys." And then the train hits a shard, and the shard flings through the air and slices his head. A great kill because it doesn't decapitate him at the neck; it cuts off his head above
the lip.
Yeah,
yeah. Get a little teeth in there.
And I am a sucker for a body that is decapitated that just stands there for another few seconds.
A little chicken moment, you know?
But instead of getting very upset about this, Devon Sawa is instead like, "Oh, I get it. I can see before things happen."
Thanks, Billy. Now I understand that.
And he's like, "If I can see it, I can predict it. If I predict it, I can intervene, and then I can change it.
I will never go to sleep again because I got to be seeing."
So he goes to Clear's family's cabin in the woods and shuts himself in.
Fucking crazy cat lady eating canned potted meat. And we just see him like making things safe, except for his only light source is a kerosene lamp. But don't worry, he puts it on a bowl of water. Well, that'll help. Anyway, if you're spending just lots of days and time unbooby trapping this house, making it so safe, all I'm going to see are all the things you missed. So do better. Get some sleep.
But after he's built himself this great little habitat, this death-proof house, he realizes, wait a minute, I never switched seats. OMG, I'm not the next one to die. Clear is. No, it's Clear. So, but then at the same time, for some reason, Clear has ratted him out to the feds. She's like, "I'm scared of him over in the cabin. Go get him." And so they're on their way to go get him. They get to the cabin. He's like, "Oh no, the feds." And he runs out and escapes in a canoe.
A canoe?
Successfully paddles across the lake.
Yes. I feel like when a canoe is deployed, it is successful. I've seen canoes used this way. I want to say in The Haunting of Hill House or something, where they go see like an abandoned fucking building that's haunted and big.
That sounds right.
They escape in a canoe.
I'll tell you what would happen if it was me.
Okay.
Oh, this is pretty far.
Fuck it.
Okay.
You guys give me a ride.
Here I am. Yeah.
End me.
So she has ratted him out, but he has successfully escaped via canoe, makes it all the way to Clear's house, and this loose power line is going nuts. And it is trapped Clear in her car.
We don't know how she's going to die. There's so many options.
Look, I think this sucks. I think basically the last like 12 minutes of the movie suck.
Okay.
I think that this whole thing with the loose cable sucks. I think that she's in her car and he's like, "The tires are grounding you. You're okay." Oh shit, no, the car's gonna blow. The only thing he could do is sacrifice himself. So he grabs the power line. And it works, doesn't work. I don't know. The movie fades to white. Which I think is a cool visual image because it does like, ooh, the afterlife. No, it's a jetway at an airport.
And don't worry, everyone's got frosted tips. Everyone's gotten their hair different, except for Mr. Moody Pants, leather jacket, fucking beat you up and I'm your friend.
I'm sure that's how he looks on Dawson's Creek. The other two, I'm certain this is in reshoots. This is probably like 8 months later.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that for sure.
Well,
but
they probably tested the ending that they had,
one
and
more thing to happen.
and everyone's like, "Where's the closure?"
It's 6 months later. They finally made it to Paris.
It's just funny though, because the closure is still that most of you are going to die. It's still the same thing: girl alive, boy probably dead, and it's like, but somehow that they got a little bit more life.
These movies struggle with. I think the endings are always a little.
They are a little strange, but there's some there. It's playing with this like borrowed time thing, and so I think that each movie is examining different kind of grief and like finding out you have a fatal illness, but you do have 6 months left. Like what does that feel like? What do you do with it? So playing with the time this way, it's a reprieve, right? You can't put death off forever, but we can all have a little sigh of relief that you guys got 5 months.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's how I take it. And plus, it's not the right time for them to fuck. They're obviously like having crushes on each other and are now like calling each other baby out of fucking nowhere, Alex and Claire. But they've been crazy. They haven't had any time to like make out or have sex. So I think the movie's like, don't worry, guys. They got to be boyfriend and girlfriend for a little while. Now we kill him.
They're at a cafe in Paris and they're sipping beers. A toast to being alive. May it never end. Yes, indeed.
Ah, yes.
And then Devon Sawa is like, but there's one thing that bothers me. Remember that whole Final Destination thing? I don't know. I'm kind of, and he pulls out like a schematic and the other two are like, oh, this are good.
Fucking no.
And what does he figure out? He figures out like, wait a minute, death. I didn't change. Sorry, I don't remember. Is it? I figures out that he didn't change seats, or is it because he saved Clear? Now death would skip her, but it's still coming for him. He just thought that it wasn't coming for him.
Something like that.
But he realizes, oh shit, death is coming for me. You guys can't be anywhere near it when it happens. So I gotta go. And they're like, can we follow you? And he's like, no, do not follow me. Stay there, please.
The John Denver song is being played by a street performer in French, and that's the thing. That's the song.
Yes.
That lets you know the death is here.
And as he walks down the street, a series of Rube Goldberg things happen, causing a sign to nearly crush him. And then Carter swoops in, knocks him out of the way. And he's like, I saved you, Browning. That means that I've changed death's design. Ah, yes. But who's next? And then the sign swings back around to kill him. Best scene of the movie. The only one of these movies that gets this right, I think, is Final Destination 5. Now, spoiler alert for Final Destination 5. There's never any indication that it's a prequel. It's just that the two heroes of the movie have survived, and this whole time they've been talking about going to this cooking internship in Paris. Mm-hmm. And they get on, they've survived this whole thing. They get on the plane and then suddenly they're like, there's a commotion up at the front of the plane.
Interesting.
And then the movie inserts some footage from Final Destination.
Yeah,
1.
that's the loop.
You have to loop it in. Yes.
I like it.
So if they could loop all of these movies somehow, that's how you actually have to end.
You know who you need to ask? Lupa. He knows how to time travel.